So SVL, Strategic Business Leader. We have completed the syllabus. We are covering case studies. So let's discuss one more case study. We'll see today after covering this case study. Okay, so we are having a case study BCO. Balloon Conservation Organization is a not-for-profit charitable organization, charity business. So BCO is a not-for-profit charitable organization set up to protect endangered wildlife around the world. In their aim is to provide protection to the wildlife. It has founded 50 years ago by Dana Bloom, a wealthy entrepreneur with a passion for wildlife protection. She set up the BCO Wildlife Park in her home country of Zealand. She has set up Wildlife Park in her home country of Zealand, and since it was founded, the Wildlife Park has provided intensive hands-on management of some of the world's most threatened animals. In the wildlife park, animals breed and increase in number while the keepers and wildlife experts study them to learn more about what they need to thrive in the wild again before releasing them. The BCO also operates 20 in the field animal protection programs, that is animal welfare and management activities occurring in the animal natural habitat in 15 countries worldwide. I mean, they are having a wildlife park, they are having a 20 other protection management site where they treat the animals. The BCO employs a team of locally based wildlife experts and volunteers to manage and protect some of the most endangered animals in the world. Much of the BCO's income comes from donation from public and from corporate donors. Same like NCCP. They were having donation from corporate as well as public. The BCO also generates income from legacies. Legacies mean the people who die, their inherited property, people donate to others. Legacies, which are donations left when people die. Zealand, as with many other developed economies around the world, has suffered from an economic recession for several years. And many charitable organizations have struggled to survive in such difficult economic times. However, the BCO has managed to maintain its position as a world leading charity in wildlife protection by implementing programs of cost cutting, rationalization, and more targeted and active promotion of its activities. But the company survived. The BCO has a board of trustees which oversee the management of the charity, which is undertaken on a day-to-day basis by the management board. There is a board of trustee and management board. Could be board of trustees are involved in decision making, strategy making, and management board is running the business. It could be like two-tier board structure. Yeah. Dana Bloom, who is now over 80 years old, has very recently stepped down from her role as chairperson. As a new chairperson, Ronnie Jeffers has just been appointed. So company is having a new chairman, Ronnie. Ronnie Jeffers has a strong commercial background, having previously been a chief executive of several Zealand's leading corporations. She's having much experience as a leadership role, but that was relating to commercial organizations. It is currently September 2021. The following exhibit provide information relevant to the case study. Exhibit 1 to 6 we are having. Exhibit 1, extract from the BCO annual reports. The extract highlights the BCO's mission, vision, aim, and objective, and its main activities in the latest financial year ending 30th April 20x1. Mean this is information about BCO. Mission, goal, objective, vision, activities. This means overall information about the business. Exhibit 2, about us. Page of BCO website extracts. The website page set out the leadership structure and governance of the charity, where we can see structure and governance of the organization, executive, non-executive, department. Exhibit 3, BCO financial activities and KPIs. A summary of income and expenditure account of the BCO for the last 2 financial years, including a summary of its KPIs. This means there could be some financial performance, financial analysis. Exhibit 4, charity sector research report. Our recent research articles detailing the main threats and opportunities facing the charity sector. Research on charity sector, and we'll be finding threats and opportunities, external factors relating to charity business. Exhibit 5, BCO risk register. The latest risk register identify the key risk and mitigating activities identified by the risk committee. Mean this is information about the risk. And Exhibit 6, articles on charity leadership. A new article on the recent bad publicity surrounding leadership issues in the charity sector. If you see the exhibit, this is similar to NCCP. But this case study is of 2020. NCCP immediately 1 year after this case study. Oh, no, that was March, June 2021. And this relate to December. This means immediately after this. At that time, there were only 2 attempts. 2021, yeah, 3. There were 4 attempts, yeah. So that probably 1 attempt after this. So they cannot repeat similar case studies in December and March. So that is probably for June. So 1 attempt after this case study, NCCP appeared. And both almost similar data. If we even see the exhibit names, company information, its website, its financial data, its industry data, its risk detail, and newspaper article regarding the company repute.
In 23 में जो प्री मॉक था वो भी चैरिटी से रिलेटेड था.
So let's see. We are having different requirements. Shall we read requirement 1? Okay. The new chairperson, Rani Jeffels, has recently commenced his new role with the BCO and wants to find out as much as possible about the organization. Obviously, she has appointed as a newly chairman, so she wants detailed information about the business. He has called a meeting with the management board and has asked for each board member to make a short presentation to assist him in better understanding the BCO. In every board member should explain what they are doing so that he could got some idea about the business. The chief finance officer, CFO, has been asked to present on to the BCO governance principle and activities and its financial and non-financial performance in the latest financial year. Mean CFO is going to provide detail about the company governance arrangement, company activities, company principles, mean policies, company financial and non-financial performance from the latest financial statements. The CFO has asked you to assist him in preparing for this presentation. And who are you? They haven't informed. This means you are what? Consultant.
Finance.
You are finance manager? Is mentioned anywhere? Where? Okay, let's see. If there is information about your role, who are you? Otherwise, normally we are what? consultant. Because after completing this paper, SBL will become business consultant. We can open our consultancy firm.
Really?
Obviously, you got some idea. You are dealing business problem, business issues. You are providing recommendations. These could be the issues of any business. If they need any consultancy, why business need any consultancy regarding these kind of issues? And if you have studied SBL properly, you can provide business consultancy services. There's no issue. If you have studied two paper of taxation of ACCA, you can provide taxation services. If you have studied three paper of accounting, you can provide accountancy services. If you have studied two paper of audit, you can provide audit services. If you have studied two paper of financial management, you can provide financial management consultancy. You could become financial analyst. In similar, if you have studied SVL, not even passed, but just by studying SVL, you are in a position to provide business consultancy services. Because in every case study, what you are doing, you are analyzing business issues. You are discussing business issues and providing recommendations. Business are having these kind of issues. So prepare a briefing note for the CFO, which explain the specific nature of principal agent relationship of the BCO as a charitable organization. Principal agent, who is principal in this organization? Board of trustees. Who are agent that are working according to board of trustees instructions? Management board. Is that board of trustees are principal, and they have appointed what management board mean directors, board of directors to manage the business. They are what agent. Agency theory. Who is principal? Who is agent? So board of trustees are principal. Management board, board of directors are what agent, and they need to work in best interest of the principal. Whatever that action from board of trustees, they need to follow that. They need to work on that. And there is a fiduciary relationship between principal and agent. Is that? Even if we see the board of trustees, they are using money of home donors. Donors mean general public. So they could be what? Agent of the donors, the agent of the general public, or they could be agent of the founder of the company. Who was she or he? What was the name of the founder? Dana Bloom. Is that? This we need to explain. And then advantages for the BSO of having a two-tier board structure. What are the advantages of two-tier board structure? There is a clarity who is involved in decision making and who is not. There could be chances of quick decision making because there is one board that is only concerned with decision making, strategy making only. They don't need to arrange the executive boards for meeting. They don't need to involve the executive board for meeting, and then they should decide. No, they are there for strategy making, decision making. If there is separate board, there will be more stakeholder concern. They will be able to consider more stakeholder, because if executives are sitting in decision making, sometime non-executive have to consider their best as well. But if executives are not sitting in decision making and a non-executive, especially in board of trustees who are independent, they will consider more wider stakeholder concern. What else could be the advantages of two-tier board structure?
Separation of power and duty.
Separation of powers and duties. In management board is performing duties, their role responsibilities, and who is having power of decision making, that is board of trustee. They need direction from there. Enhance independence as well. Easy. And part 3, A3, how the BCO mission and strategic objective meet its key stakeholder needs. What is their mission and strategic objective? That we need to read. But this part A1, part A2, even we can discuss without, but we need to discuss a little bit regarding the company, like these advantages. We need to link with the company a bit. For that, we should treat the scenario, complete scenario, not one exhibit. Please keep in your mind, the first requirement is not relating to just one exhibit. Mhm. So we are having a task 1 B, we are having a task 2 B, we are having task 3, we are having task 4, and we are having 6 exhibits. Exhibit 1, extract from BCO's annual reports highlighting the BCO's mission, vision, aim, objective, and its main activities in the latest financial year ending 30th April 2021. Our mission, protecting and conserving our wildlife for future generation. Protecting wildlife, simple. Our vision, a safer, healthier world where people respect and support our wildlife. Because wildlife is relating to natural environment. If there is no wildlife, it could affect the natural environment as well. Our aim to support and increase the number of healthy and thriving wildlife communities across the world and encourage everyone to be more involved in the natural environment they live in. Our strategic objective, we have set out 3 clear strategic objectives for the next 5 years. These are: ensure that 100 threatened species are protected and return to their natural habitat. Invest in 100 wildlife habitat projects across the world through providing a training and education for the local staff, volunteer, and communities. And ensure 1 million people are better concerned with natural nature through education and awareness of the natural world they live in. So these are 3 objectives that organization want to meet. They want to protect 100 threatened species, 100 threatened animals, 100 wildlife habitat project they want to start so that they can provide education, training to the people, volunteers, and community. And they want to make aware 1 million people regarding the wildlife by providing education and awareness. So these are their next 5 years objective that company want to meet. Is that what was the requirement? 1A3. The BCO's mission and strategic objective meet its key stakeholder need. That might be there could be some information about the stakeholders, so we need to read the complete scenario. What are the mainly stakeholder involved? What they want? So their need will be able to identify by reading the scenario. Review of 20x1, our financial position continues to be challenging, mean not stable. Operating a world-class wildlife park and global animal protection program is costly, hence our need for a range of income stream. In company need income, money, because the activities are costly by nature. This year, we reluctantly raised the price of admission to the wildlife park for the first time in 5 years. I mean, they have increased the price for the visitors who want to visit the wildlife park. The decision was taken with a view to using the increased revenue to invest in better long-term facilities and experience for our visitors. Our wildlife park facilities continue to be popular, resulting in increased revenue from our for our on-site shop and cafe. I mean, they are having some shops and cafe along with the park, and they are generating revenue from them as well. Income from legacies was down on 20x0, a continuing trend on the past few years, mean decreasing, highlighting the volatile nature of reliance on legacy income. We sold one of our property in the last year, and two more will be sold next year to fund the extension of the visitor center, which we hope will contribute to our objective of connecting people with the nature. In company is short of fund. Last year they have sold one land, and in coming year they are expecting more land we need to sell for growing our business, for meeting our objectives. We were also successful in securing over $2 million in grant funded donation over the next few years. There are chances of $2 million grant. We were also successful. This means everything is finalized, means it has been approved. Now they gonna receive from the government in future. This is significant source of income for the BCO, and we are grateful to those organizations which have awarded these grants. A huge amount of work over the year went into updating our members database management system, which will be in place in 20x2 and allow us to communicate more effectively with members and permit online fee payments. They are going to update database MS, mean IT system. Through this, they will be able to communicate with their members, as well as they will be able to allow the members to renew membership fee online. Further investment in information technology is a key to our growth in coming years. In our drive to streamline our business and to educate and communicate more effectively with our stakeholder. We will be launching our redesigned website in 20x2 and are looking for new opportunities to use e-business technologies more effectively in areas such as online education, digital marketing, and social media. In company want to jump into some new IT based opportunities, like they want to offer online education, meaning courses. If they are providing any free courses for creating awareness, so they currently might be they are running physical, but they are having plan to offer online education, digital marketing, and social media. What's the difference between digital marketing and social media? Digital marketing is concerned with marketing only, in marketing through different channels, marketing through your own website, or marketing through your app, mobile app as well, smart app. While social media, creating your pages on different social media platform like Twitter, the name has changed to X, what Instagram, what else, TikTok, Facebook. So creating your own pages on these social media, so that you must be having a connection with the people. Mean people will follow your page. If they have followed, you are having any interaction with them, they can provide feedback, you can talk with them. But digital marketing is not about talking, is not about connection, is not about relationship, is about awareing the people about your business services products. That could be marketing through any other online channel, marketing through your website, marketing through your mobile app. So they are having plan to move over there. It is with the great sadness that we said goodbye to Dana Bloom last month, the founder. Our founder had been a tireless supporter of the BCO, and hard work, imagination, vision, and determination has played a vital role in making the BCO the world leading charity that it is today. She has been inspirational in creating a world where many endangered animals have been given a chance to thrive. We wish Dana a very happy and peaceful retirement. Rest in peace. She's still alive. Okay, Exhibit 2 About Us page of the BCO website, which sets out the leadership structure and governance of the charity. BCO leadership, our two-tier board consists of the board of trustees and management board that we have discussed in part 1A2. Board of trustees, the governance of the BCO is vested in our board of trustees, which has overall control over the charity and is responsible for monitoring its strategic direction, preparing strategies, and ensuring it is in line with our mission and objective. It is also responsible for monitoring the risk to which the charity is exposed through risk committee. Company is having a risk committee, and who are member of risk committee? Board of trustees. Board of trustees member who are in board of trustees. Chairperson Rani Jaffers, 61-year-old. Oh my God. Rani joined the board in August of this year. He has a master degree in economics and joins the BCO having had a successful and varied career in industry, where he had numerous senior managerial positions, including chief executive of Springwell Food PLC. Dr. Boris Tilly, 68 years old. Dr. Tilly has been a trustee of the board for 12 years. He has had a long life passion for animal protection, having worked for many overseas animal charities throughout his career. He has a doctorate in literature. Mavis Reese Boyd, 73-year-old. Mrs. Reese Boyd has been a trustee of the BSO for 11 years and is a long life friend of Dana Bloom and a keen supporter of animal protection. She has a degree in fine art. Sir Henry Wright, 75 years old. The more old people are coming. 61, 68, 73, 75. Sir Henry has been a trustee of the board for 14 years and has a strong commercial background, having worked in the financial service industry before retiring and taking up his position with the BCO. What we trying to understand from this information? Company lack diversity at board of trustee level. What was diversity? Different age, different qualification, different nature, different gender people. Is that they're having all old men and they have studied old courses at that time when they have studied their education. Technology was not there. Mm. Technology came into existence from last 25 years. Before 2000, in 1990s, there was no technology. It introduced or expanded after 2000. Even the advancements in technologies happened after 2010. Mm. Is that? This means their knowledge is old. They might not adopt the new technologies, and nowadays business environment has become complex, dynamic, changing. New innovations happens every day, and only those businesses are surviving who are adopting innovation before their competitors. So they will not be more innovative with this age, with this background. Let's see, because they are involved in decision making, strategy making. Dr. Hardeep Khan, 48 years old. Dr. Khan has a master degree in animal protection science and has worked in many of the most important animal protection sites across the world. He joined the board 3 years ago. Stella Bond, 58 years old. Mrs. Bond has been a trustee of the BCO for 8 years and has a commercial experience in retail sales. And we learned in corporate governance, like a non-executive director should be independent.
Yeah.
If they are non-executive director, independent mean they must not be with the company for more than 9 years. And they are having more than 9 years mean they will not be independent, they will not be having fresh ideas, they will not be more innovative so that they can bring something new into the business. So company is lacking diversity. Almost every board of trustees are above 50. That is a for trading relation. Non-executive should not be having a trading relation in last 3 years. They must not be employed with the company in last 5 years. And they must not be in a position of non-executive director continuous for 9 years.
Same company.
Same company. For auditor, that was 5 years. They need to change after 5 years. So management board are a highly experienced and dedicated management board is responsible for the day-to-day business of the BCO. Its main duties are to develop and propose the strategies to achieve our mission and objective and to measure and report on to the BCO's performance. It take responsibility for the management and delivery of our activities. Nothing to understand here, just time wasting. What is important in these three lines? Management board, we are aware what management board does. Okay, Chief Executive Officer, Lois Jensen. Chief Finance Officer, Ken Scott. Head of Human Resource, Alex. Head of Fundraising, Sally. Head of Commercial Operation, Jasper. And head of animal protection, Dr. Mark. So CEO, under CEO, there is a CFO, HR head, fundraising head, commercial operation head, and animal protection head. This was information about the company. Now we are moving towards income and expenditure account for the company and its KPIs. A summary of the income and expenditure of BCO for the last two financial year 20x0 and 20x1 include a summary of its KPIs, summary of financial activities, income, and then expenditure, and then net income. What income companies are having? A wildlife park admission. Wildlife park admission. Increased or decreased? How much percentage can you calculate, please? 3.26 increase. Okay. Membership fee individual slightly increase are almost same, but corporate it's increased by how much? It's more than double. How much is that? 100 and how much percent? 100 and near about 30%.
133.
133%. It's a huge change, but still it is very low. Huge change, but still it is as compared to other, they are in thousands. This is just about 200. Is that? How much is 210 of total income percentage? About 1% we can say. Very small part of total income. Okay. Education program have decreased by how much? 6.1% decline. Wildlife park, shop and cafe has increased the revenue. How much? 15.3%. And donation, grant and legacies, that has decreased. How much? 15.5%. And this is how much of total income? because this is looking like the main source of income as compared to other, because the amount is more as compared to other. This means this is main source of 35% of total income. What was in previous year?
41.62.
41.6%. This means previous year it was 41% of total income. Now it has become 35% total income. This means company is able to generate some other type of income as well. That's why it's reduced as compared to previous year in total as well as in percentage against total income. Mean now it might not be becoming the main source of income, might be other sources of income also started growing. Because if we see that total income that has slightly increased despite our main source of income decreased by 15%. Despite our main source of income decreased by 15%, still we are able to slightly increase the total income. This means other type of income has started increasing. Expenditure, charitable activities, animal sport cost, wildlife park, staff animal, food, medical facilities. This has increased by how much? 9.1%. This is of concern. Animal sport cost in the field, staff facilities, transport, medical, that has also increased, and staff training has been reduced. This one, and training reduced by how much? 10%. It could be like companies finding difficulties to manage their expenses, so they decided to reduce training cost of the employees. So commercial activities, cost of operating wildlife park, shop and cafe has decreased. Good. While revenue from shop and cafe has increased. And cost of other commercial income slightly increased. Why this cost has been decreased? Due to increase in revenue. So might be companies started achieving economies of scale because they need to sell more from cafe and shops. So that's why due to economies of scale, that per unit cost decreased. If we look at the total net income, that has been decreased. By how much? These figures are in thousand. So that has been decreased by 400 and 386,000. Is that? No. 82 to 422,000. Okay. Next, we are having information about number of paid staff employed. Paid staff employed, wildlife park and in the field, these has been reduced slightly. And number of volunteers has increased. This is a good sign because volunteers normally they are expert and they are working for free. That help the organization in achieving efficiency as well as effectiveness both. And key performance indicators, KPIs. Wild park visitor numbers. What company want to do? Increase or decrease? Increase, but there is what? Decrease. Income per visitor from cafe and shop, company want to increase and it has increased by how much? 3.2%. 27 per customer. Average training days per staff number. Company want to increase, but it has decreased. Poor. Cost per staff training days, it has decreased. Number of external education training program run, decrease. While they want to provide education, they want to provide awareness, but their number of education program has decreased instead of increasing. And number of animals return to natural habitat increase. Is that exhibit 4 are recent charity sector research articles detailing the main threats and opportunities facing the charity sector. Why charities must change? The Global Charities Institute for Research by Professor Axel Parrish. A number of events and changes have happened in the last couple of years, which have given the managers of many charities some cause for concern. Since the global recession over a decade ago, many countries are still feeling its effect, and government globally have been financially under pressure. This has impacted on the wider population whose income has also been overstressed. So there is a recession like one economic factor. Linked to this, even government are also showing a concern regarding the financially under financial position of charities. So there is a political factor as well. Linked to this is the general financial position of charity. Many charities have far too long been over reliant on a small number of funding operations. If a funding source ends, the impact on a charity can be immediate and devastating. Many publicly funded grant awarding bodies and corporate supporters of charities have reluctantly had to reduce their support for charities both financially and in terms of volunteering. This means the grants that we were receiving are going to be reduced, as they have seen their own income reduced by the financial crisis. In comment, on income reduces. That's why they are trying to cut the grants provided to other form of businesses like charities. However, public expectation of the work done by charities are still high. There is good repute, which places increased demand on all charities, and many have found themselves at risk being unable to meet expectation. But public is having some expectation. For example, many global nature and animal protection charities have been demand for their support and protection increased dramatically as habitat around the world are being increasingly destroyed by human activities. However, year on year, these charities struggle to maintain stable funding levels. Opportunities and threats about the charity businesses. Some of the decrease in charitable funding has been caused by donor fatigue. People have become overexposed to charitable requests and therefore stopped donating. Some charities have been accused of hard selling their services by bombarding donors with a request by post, email, and on the street. Charities have no doubt become more aggressive in trying to win donor support, resulting in some local authorities banning street donations to stop aggressive donor collection tactics. This also impacts badly on the general reputation and perception of our sector. More legislation is expected, legal factor, in the coming year to stop the use of a hard sell marketing tactics used by the some charities. So we got some information about political factor, economic factor, even social factor, even legal factor, because this is about opportunities and threats. A younger generation of donors have also been brought up in time of austerity and is less likely to donate to charitable causes. Younger generation, social factor is what? Negative. Some charities have recognized the younger generation as a potential source of donation and have used raw form of technology such as social media platform and mobile technologies to reflect to effectively communicate and interact with the potential new source of support. However, some charities have been slow to protect and nurture the customer and donors they already have, missing the opportunity to build better relationship with them to encourage retention through the use of e-marketing and communication strategies. A failure to innovate or upgrade organization system, technological factors. To match the need of the society we live in many by a major downfall for many charitable organizations. So political factor, if we see, was negative. Economic factor was negative because there is a recession. Social factor is a little bit negative. People are expecting more. Legal factor is always negative, and social factor is also negative. Technological factor also negative. Exhibit 5. The BCO's latest risk register identifying the risk and mitigating activities identified by the risk committee. Risk register. Potential risk, they have found 4 type of risk. Fundraising pressure, loss of key staff, increased competition in the sector, and operating in dangerous location around the world that could affect the health of the people who are working. Fundraising pressure, the impact of this risk is insufficient income to cover expenditure, mean this could create this problem for the organization. Reputation risk of a campaign are method used to raise funds. If not adopted properly, ultimately company will not be able to generate enough funds. Risk mitigating activities mean how a company trying to manage this fundraising pressure risk. Implement appropriate cost budgeting procedure. Cost budget if you are preparing to manage a fundraising pressure risk. Is that appropriate? Issue is what? Fundraising pressure. Fundraising is what? Revenue or cost? Revenue. And mitigation, implementing appropriate cost budget procedures. No cost budget. Cost budget, you can control cost only. You'll not be able to increase revenue while fundraising pressure is relating to revenue. Wrong. Is that? You must be implement like a revenue budget, future forecast budget relating to sales. Monitor the adequacy of financial returns achieved, benchmarking comparison, financial returns achieved. Monitor the adequacy of financial returns achieved. Financial returns are relating to revenue. Financial returns are relating to revenue. If you are receiving returns,
Return.
this could be your loss, this could be your expense rather than revenue. And then report fundraising activities to stakeholder in annual reports. Yes, this is a good procedure. But first two are not relevant. What could else be fundraising pressure mitigation? Its impact is high on the organization. Ultimately, if company is not able to generate fund, company will not be able to survive. So impact is high. Probability high or low? high because there are very few people who provide funds to the charities. So what we should do, we should avoid it. No, what we should do? What should be the other mitigation policies? Because these are not appropriate, especially first two. We should market more. We should market more. We should create more relation with the stakeholder. We should communicate on regular basis with the stakeholder to get more money, especially with donors. Yes. Is that? Create and advertising. CDM, customer or CRM software. Yeah, very good. Loss of key staff is another risk. Obviously, if company is losing staff, they are more experienced people. Company will be having operational problem because new staff member you need to recruit and then train will take time. So, what is the impact if they lose experience or skill lost? Operational impact on key animals because the new staff member will not be properly trained enough, and protection projects. What mitigation policy company have adopted? Succession planning? Yes, good. Agree notice period and a handover? Yes, so that company can manage another person. Review recruitment process and policies? Yes. So these are all good. But company need to consider not only impact, they need to consider its probability as well. Increase competition in the sector. What could be the impact on business? Loss of income, loss of customer, reduced public profile. What are the mitigating strategies? Monitor method of service delivery, whether we are providing proper services or not. Monitor public awareness and profile. What else could be there regarding competition? Market research. Market research, you need to find what competitors are doing. What are the new innovations happening in the market that company can adopt? Because if competitor adopt before you or competitor doing something different than you will be not be having a competitive advantage. This risk will still be there. So market research on regular basis as well as checking expectation of customer or checking what competitor is doing. The fourth risk is operating in dangerous location around the world. If they are operating in dangerous location, what could be the impact? The staff, volunteers injured or killed by the animals, carrying out their responsibilities. How we can mitigate this? Monitor and review activities in a registered dangers location and procedures to remove staff at a short notice. Yes. Closely work with the social security and safety service regular training. Yes, but what could be else? Operating in dangerous location around the world, you need to communicate policies, how to work, so that everybody should be aware how they should work properly, how they can avoid. There must be some contingency plan. I mean, if any of the incident happened, what company should do? There must be some contingency plans. The risk committee is chaired by BCO's chairperson and has two other board of trustees members. The committee meets once a year. Oh my God. To review the risk register and activities being undertaken by the BCOs to monitor and manage risk. Nowadays, business are operating in complex, dynamic, changing business environment, and business risks are also becoming dynamic. They keep on changing. Every moment, business will be facing a new type of risk. So, risk management process should be an ongoing activity on regular basis rather than once in a year. If they are meeting to manage businesses once in a year, They'll not be able to manage businesses because businesses can rise on continuous basis due to dynamic nature of business environment. Exhibit 5, last exhibit, sorry, 6. A news article on the recent bad publicity surrounding leadership issues in the charity sector. The Zealand Times, as charity leaders out of touch, charities under increasing pressure to improve sector. Research for the Zealand Charity Commission has found that people are increasingly concerned about how charities spend their money and how they are managed and led. Concern about the society. And they want to know how their money is used, how they are governing the charity business. The main reason giving for trusting charities less, cited by over one third of people questioned, was negative media coverage. There is negative media coverage about the charities. Stories to have hit the headlines since the last survey include the collapse of two major health charities amid allegation of financial mismanagement. In two charities closed due to financial mismanagement. And the general perception that some charities are run more like clubs for old school friends, with the boards of trustees being out of touch and unskilled for the modern world in which they operate. And they are not focusing on the modern world. They are not adopting new approaches to manage the business. Some of the major problems of charities in recent times have been poor strategic direction, driven largely by charities being led and managed by board with the seem to lack awareness of the changing world they now operate in if they don't have diversity. Many charities seemingly lack direction, strategy, and forward planning, with the issues being addressed piecemeal with the limited strategic preference. Some of the problem of this has been laid firmly at the door of the trustees. These people tasked with setting the strategic direction. In a modern world where charities are facing similar commercial pressure to profit-making organization, the question is whether charities can be run effectively by trustees with no commercial background and with a limited understanding of strategic formulation. In whether they should be allowed to manage the things or not, because they are not aware about operations. They are not involved in operations. In a presentation to G-Land's charity leaders this week, the Charity Commission's chairman, Leif Morton, said that the decline of charity sector was a wake-up call for everyone who run a charity. He said poor fundraising practices, poor management, and weak out of touch leadership have all combined to reduce public confidence in the charity sector. Poor fundraising practices, poor management. Morton said, who's Morton? Who's Morton? Who's Morton? Hello, Morton. We don't know. Okay. The public wants to see charities amount better for how they spend their money, and the charities and marketing a positive difference to their causes. However, the damage done to the sector by these examples of bad practice must be balanced by the vast amount of energy, commitment, and hard work put in by most charities. We have completed the scenario and we have completed the requirement A1, I think so. So requirement 1. was part one, straightforward. Part two, same advantages. There will be clarity for the board of directors, like management board, like they need a direction from board of trustees because they are involved in strategy making and decision making. And board of trustees are having clarity. They need to make strategies, prepare strategies, and give direction. And there will be quick decision making because board of trustees are mainly concerned with the strategy making and decision making of the company rather than running of the business. And there is a separate board, separate people who are focusing on decision making, strategy making. They don't need to arrange meeting with other full-time people. They don't need to take appointment from them for the meeting. So ultimately, they will be able to decide quickly on certain matters because they are sitting for that purpose. And there will be more stakeholder concern. There are so many stakeholders involved in charity business, and charity business is with the support of stakeholder like donors, government, legacy is the main source of income here, as well as the board members, company employees, especially the volunteers. So being having a separate board of trustees who are considering best for the organization, best for the all, they could take a decision in a wider stakeholder concern. Because if executive directors are involved in decision making, sometime board members need to adopt self-interest short-term business strategies that could be against any of the stakeholder. And there will be separation of the power and responsibilities because power will retain with the board of trustees and responsibility is with the management board. But even board of trustees are also responsible for their action because they need to monitor them. They need to provide a proper direction. So responsibility is not just lie with the management board. Board of trustees are also responsible. A3, how the BCO's mission and strategic objective meet its key stakeholder need. How the BCO's mission and strategic objective meets its key stakeholder needs. What are their mission or objective? First objective was in next 5 years, they want to protect 100 threatened species. How this objective is concerned with the stakeholder needs. Ultimately, the stakeholder, especially the board of trustees, who have stated this objective, as well as donors who are donating money to the company, to the organization, they are having a concern about the wildlife. And if company have set a target like we're gonna treat 100 threatened species, so this is aligned with the stakeholders, especially the donors who provide donations. Invest in 100 wildlife habitat projects across the world and providing training and education. So this is their objective. And the stakeholder, like the founder of the organization, their aim was what? Awaiting the people about the wildlife, starting different projects that they already started in last 5 years, 20 different projects in 15 countries, and they want to have more projects in next 5 years that will be aligned with the founder as well as management of the company. Ensuring 1 million people are better connected with the nature through education and awareness of the natural world if they live in. So this target company can achieve by attracting more visitors to their wildlife park. Because if visitors are visiting the wildlife park, they can provide some information. Either they can provide some information through any of the guide, any of the written material, any of the billboards, through any of the screen display. So company can make aware the people about the wildlife protection, their responsibility, like people responsibility in managing wildlife protection by attracting the people to wildlife park. These things we need to discuss for 12 good marks. Is that? Let's take a small break. After break, we'll move towards remaining requirements. We have just covered the pre-C. Mean we need to explain who is the principal, who is the agent. So board of trustees are principal who have engaged their agent management board. They are giving direction to management board, whatever they are saying, they need to perform that. So being an agent, management board have to work in best interest of the principal board of trustees. And there is a fiduciary relationship of trust. Like whatever the direction board of trustees are giving, management board will follow that. Even board of trustees are also agent of the donors, are the founder of the organization, because they are working as per the expectations of donors as well as founder. So take 15 minutes break.
बट टीचर वाला इंग्लिश में और ये असेंबली वाला
आपके टीचर वाले जो है ना वो कंपनी में लाइक जैसे जनरल सवाल जो आता है उस वैसे वाला वो S20 वाले थिंक है उनके जो एग्जिबिट्स है ना उन्होंने खुद से कोई एग्जिबिट्स बनाया कोई एग्जिबिट्स जो वो ऑफिशियल नहीं है कोई भी और भी एग्जिबिट्स आ सकता है तो वो उसमें से लाइक वो उसमें से सवाल निकाल के दिए ऐसे नॉन एग्जाम वन में
अभी क्योंकि जो मेरे वाले नोट जो मैंने आज फ्रेंड के सबको भेजे ना फिर सर आज वो ग्रुप में सेंड करेंगे तो अब पता चलेगा कि बाकी बच्चों को भी वो डिफिकल्ट लग रही है कि सिर्फ मुझे डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है क्योंकि उसका जो टास्क 2 का पार्ट है और टास्क 3 का पार्ट है वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा मैं क्या लिखूं बाकी हाँ मोट बनता बाकी फिर मैंने थोड़ा टाइम किया है बट वो मुझसे नहीं
effectiveness of SP's current governance structures overseeing the event.
मैंने कौन सा नहीं किया टास्क 2 का पार्ट है और टास्क 3 का पार्ट है दोनों नहीं है
Oh, what's the time with the understand?
क्या मेरे पास फोन नहीं
What? हर चीज को पूरा सही से सुनो सर कहते हैं ये मानना मैं पहले ही सबने बोल दिया था कि सर का ये मानना है कि देखो रिसीव बस एक वो इंफॉर्मेशन है उसमें आप इतना कुछ लाइक ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते
जल्दी कर सकते कि क्या है क्योंकि अगर तुम जो है ना
एक नहीं वो एक
और एग्जाम में
कंपनी के बारे में बात चल रहा था
हट के क्या ले लो एग्जाम में किसी को नहीं करना
ऑफ कोर्स होता है मतलब उसके लिए आपको मिलेगा कितने नोट्स पढ़ने पड़ते हैं ताकि आपको कोई जरूरत नहीं पड़े
तो मैं आज मॉक करूंगी तो मेरे टीचर ने दिया है कल मैं करूंगी आज संडे का और उसके बाद सैटरडे संडे वीफी का मुझे नहीं मिला था वीफी का नहीं मिला सैटरडे संडे जो है वो मुझे सिर्फ ये नोट्स रिवाइज करनी है
मैंने भी ये वाले करना जी बताया था कौन से अच्छा अच्छा तो मुझे ऐसा समझ में नहीं आया कि लाइक मुझे लैंग्वेज समझ में
नहीं समझ नहीं आया सच्ची बात बताओ यूनिफी के टीचर समझ गया मुझे मिर्जा वाला का टीचर समझ नहीं है मुझे पता नहीं मुझे तबाही के टीचर मुझे अच्छे लगते हैं।
मैंने तो कोई वीडियो देखी उनकी
मुझे तबाही के टीचर है ना तो सिंपल लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं और ऐसा लगता है ये जो टीचर्स थे ये पूरा एसिड बना के और वो मतलब ना वो यूके उनका अडॉप्ट करके जो टीचर थे ना वो ना ऐसा फेक लगता है। इसलिए मुझे इन लोगों को नहीं समझते बहुत फेक लगता
बहुत
है बहुत ज्यादा।
जो सिर्फ नेटिव होते हैं वो उनकी
हाँ इंग्लिश ही है ना जरूरी आते हैं एसिड बनाने आप सिंपल इंग्लिश बोल लो। इसलिए मुझे तबानी के टीचर पसंद
तबानी
है।
वो
यार तबानी के एसबीआर के टीचर हैं एक सर हुसैन अल्लाह कहते हैं वो इतना डिटेल में पढ़ाते हैं मैं तो एसबीआर से एफएम किया था इसमें जैन ने उनसे जैन कहता है ये सर वैन तो इतनी सी भी डिटेल में
अच्छा
मैंने उसको रिकमेंड किया मैंने कहा मैं तुम्हारी रस्सी पास नहीं है तो तबानी से पढ़ लो तो वैन ने वैसा कैसे में पढ़ा तो कहता है सर बाकी करके है तो कहता है कि इन्होंने तो कोई डिटेल ही नहीं बताई वो एक बात को इतना बताते हैं उनके दिमाग में बैठ जाती है। उनके एसबीआर के कितने घंटे के लेक्चर है एक 100 घंटे से ऊपर के लेक्चर है
नहीं
ओवर दो तबानी सच्ची में
कहाँ है तबानी
यहाँ पर तबानी ई अकेडमी
तबानी एम
ई अकेडमी
ई अकेडमी
हाँ फर्स्ट फर्स्ट ओपन करो
ये
ओपन हाँ ये ओपन करो
ठीक है ठीक है
इधर जॉब कोर्स
ओह
इधर जॉब स्टैटिस्टिक्स
ओह ये क्या है मैं किसी और नहीं तबानी की फिल्म में मैंने
ये
किसी और किसी और वो ये वाली चीज है
तो यार ऑडिट किए और पीएम के साथ हारिस को भी कितने
एक सेकंड
यार ये इतनी अच्छी है इतनी अच्छी है ना
ये सर सर
हारिस हारिस नहीं
हाँ ये एक सेकंड
ये तो निकाल देंगे फॉलो करते हो
यूट्यूब पे वो
यार ये बहुत अच्छा ऑडिट मेरा पास इन्हीं की वजह से हुआ है और पीएम भी मेरा पास इन्हीं की वजह से वरना मैं भी 5 बच्चों की तरह इधर फेल होके बैठी होती।
हाँ कि मैं वीडियोस में देखता
अरे बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं ऑडिट एक तो ना पाकिस्तानी टीचर में स्टोरीज जो सुनाती है ना बस वो इनका मजा आता है मुझे सुनने में। ये इतनी ज्यादा ये एसबीए का है बेटा कितने घंटे का है 90 का ज्यादा लगाओ हमारा कितना है
तो ये तो बहुत घंटे का
अभी नीचे जाओ हाँ ये ना एसबीआर का कितने घंटे हैं 134 घंटे तो इसलिए मैंने तकरीबन 6 महीने दे दिए मुझे इसको एसबीआर तो मेरा प्लान है इंशाल्लाह 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 एसबीआर पास हो जाएगा अप्रैल में रिजल्ट आके तो मालूम नहीं जाएगा ना उससे पहले मैं प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करके अप्रैल में इंशाल्लाह अगर एसबीआर पास हो गया तो उसके बाद डायरेक्ट एसबीआर स्टार्ट करूंगा और सितंबर में अटेंड करूंगी और ट्रिपल है तो मैंने पढ़नी से हाथ से ही है और किसी से नहीं पढ़ूंगी किसी से भी नहीं बहुत यार ऐसी तो नहीं इतनी कहानी की हर सेशन में हर एग्जाम में भी पोजीशन होती है यूकेसीबीसी की 5 कितने सालों में कोई एक पोजीशन आई वो बच्ची भी अब फेल हो रही है
कौन
सुनो अब वो भी फेल हो चुकी है
फिर
अब फेल हो चुकी है वो भी एक दो में
अच्छा एक किस में
लेकिन बस एकदम से घटने वाली
की पहले किस में आई थी पोजीशन
किसी में आ चुकी है उसकी किसी में एफआर किसी में आई है इन्होंने सर बिलाल ने भी बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ा है एक तो बस मुझे इनका मजा आता है स्टोरीज को समझना है इतनी स्टोरीज एक तो मैं बताऊं इन्होंने एग्जाम सॉल्व जो हम करके इनको सेंड कर दिया तो उनका रिव्यू भी देते हैं सबसे मेन चीज इनकी ये अच्छी है
अच्छा
मैंने सबको एग्जाम दे दिए मैंने एक्स मेरी का मेजर एग्जाम करे सर कहते हैं मैं वो चेक नहीं करूंगा कहते जो मैं करूं ये कोई बात है टीचर टीचर होता है टीचर को चेक करना चाहिए क्लास रिकॉर्ड तो नहीं हो रही आवाज भी है रिकॉर्ड हो रही ओ
लगे से सही से
अंदर की बुराई नहीं थोड़ी काली पड़ने लगा कल शायद तो बोला
ये बिकॉज मुझे ऑलरेडी बैंक से ही करते हैं, ठीक है, मैंने तो क्या बोला था, और संडे बहुत जो बोला मैं उसका हाँ
मैं लोकेशन आपकी चेक
लेकिन मैंने इसलिए रोटी ये मगर
मैंने कहा तेरे को बुरे में लग गया ये क्या कह रही है मुझे मैंने अपने आप पहली दफा सही बात की
तो
एक्चुअली मैं तो इनको ना एज ट्यूशन पढ़ रही हूँ लेकिन अगर से तुम इनसे भी पढ़ोगे तो पास हो जाओगे क्योंकि यार नेपाल इंडिया तक से बच्चे इधर से पढ़ रहे हैं मेरे ग्रुप में इंडिया के नेपाल के इनके सब पे नंबर आते हैं
नहीं मेरे बस में एक सवाल है, अब जैसे ये उर्दू हिंदी बोलते हैं जैसे, तो इसमें वो टर्म्स मुश्किल मुश्किल नहीं मगर लाइक इनकंसिस्टेंसी नहीं होती कि ऑफ कोर्स भी जैसे इंग्लिश में एग्जाम राइट, जब आप
तो आप इंग्लिश वाले परचेज करो
जैसे ट्रिपल डे के इंग्लिश में नहीं है जैसे
है इंग्लिश में है बट तुम्हें पूछना पड़ेगा बट वो टीचर देंगे इंग्लिश में
नहीं नहीं वैसे भी है समझे, आप तो उर्दू में नहीं है तो वो तो लाइक सही लाइक क्या एग्जाम जब वो क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस
उर्दू में ये लोग बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं
नहीं मेरा मतलब वो है कि नो जब आप एग्जाम के लिए प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो ठीक है ना, तो ऑफ कोर्स हमें लिखना होता है किसमें इंग्लिश में उर्दू में लिखना होता है,
मैं उर्दू से इंग्लिश में कन्वर्ट करना आना चाहिए ना और मैं कर लेती हूँ वो
हाँ
मैं इंग्लिश बोल नहीं सकती पर मैं उर्दू से
अगर बंदा अगर सही से पढ़े
हाँ
इंग्लिश नहीं सही सही चीज पढ़े तो फिर राइट भी फिर आराम से इंग्लिश में कर सकता है
कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इंग्लिश में मैं कर पढ़ रही हूँ ना
नहीं मगर लेकिन नहीं वोकैबुलरी खैर इनकी भी अच्छी नहीं है, वोकैबुलरी की बात होती है ना, अगर कोई इंग्लिश जैसे से
टीचर्स की इंग्लिश में यूट्यूब पे देख लो ना तुम्हें इनकी इंग्लिश में समझ आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही इनकी इंग्लिश में वीडियोस हैं यूट्यूब पे
अच्छा
सब टीचर्स की होती है तुम इनको फेसबुक पे फॉलो कर लो टिकटॉक पे वो लिंक्डइन पे फॉलो करो उधर भी इनकी वीडियोस आती हैं
बिल्कुल भी आती है सर हारिस लीव
इंग्लिश में मैं एक दिन पाँच मिनट क्या मुझे पता है थोड़ा ना
नहीं ये वो नहीं है, हाँ मतलब अगर सही उसमें नहीं है, हाँ वो है कोई बात नहीं।
ओके ठीक है दैट्स ग्रेट ओके ऑलराइट अच्छा जी देखो जो डेट का सिलेबस है उसके अंदर ये टेक्निकल के रेफरेंस इसका क्या है टेक्निकल पानी की तरफ से ये जो 10 मैथ्स है ये इसमें किसका रखे हुए प्रोफेशनल मॉडल्स अब इस जरा समझिए होगा क्या इस पेपर में आपको ना एक हमेशा ईमेल है क्या है? आपको एक ईमेल और आप ईमेल पर रिस्पॉन्ड करो क्या मतलब और एक बात आप जानते हैं ईमेल लेटर मेमो वगैरह इन सबके फॉर्मेट्स क्या होता है आपके पास फॉर्मेट्स तो उस फॉर्मेट के चार में फॉर्मेट के कितने नंबर है क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 जो कि आपको एक ईमेल होगी ईमेल के फॉर्म में होगी फ्रॉम ऑडिट पार्टनर ईमेल आईडी की तरह बताइए ऑडिट पार्टनर ठीक है तो आपको सुनिए रिस्पॉन्ड करना है अब ये जो आपके पास 10 नंबर है प्रोफेशनल के इसमें भी दो कैटेगरीज आप स्प्लिट करेंगे इसमें भी दो कैटेगरीज स्प्लिट करेंगे इसमें जो चार नंबर होंगे वो होंगे आपके पास सीधे सीधे इसके क्योंकि चार नंबर किसके बाद में सीधे सीधे कम्युनिकेशन बाकी कितने बचे और जो आपके पास 6 नंबर होंगे मुझे आपको भी करके क्या बने एक बार अगर फ्री प्रोफेशनल नॉलेज अगर फ्री प्रोफेशनल नॉलेज ठीक है सर अगर कैसे चल रहा है मसला है बहुत बड़ा मसला है
I'll actually take you people through this relational diagram of the diagram. And then also be ready to set the conflict before you go question that. When you think about this, that we actually
Yep. ये कौन है?
ये भी कोई होंगे सर लुकमान रफीक
इनकी देखो मैं
हाँ मुझे इनकी उर्दू में ही है सिर्फ इनकी इंग्लिश में नहीं है
यार मैं कह रही इंग्लिश में भी नहीं इनकी
मैं
एक सेकंड
कहाँ सर्च किया अच्छा
किधर है?
दबाया हाँ मैंने लिखा वो एक जगह छोटे
मैं पूरा देखूंगी
लिखिए ना पूरी लिखिए ना लिख रहा है पूरी लेक्चर में भी होती है लेकिन इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश प्रेफर करता हूँ ताकि आपको सही से आए ठीक है ना अभी कौन आ गए हैं
नहीं नहीं ये नहीं
इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज
these are actually the actions
इंग्लिश में है
on
मैं कह रही
by
हूँ
the auditor or you can say actions like working of auditor working of auditor
मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैंने पहले खुद से पढ़
नहीं ट्रिपल है इतना इजी में ही था
क्यों के अभी तो
कॉलेज में इधर 3,000 2,000 मेरे से बचते
राजस्थान
राजस्थान से 35,000 दो 400-500 दिन हूँ और अपने प्रोफेशनल एग्जाम की कितनी फीस है एसबीएन की तो 1200 देगी
वही ना बात वही
सबसे एसबीएन की ज्यादा बाकी कम है
नहीं नहीं क्या हो गया
District business leader. Okay. So task 1 part A we have covered. Moving towards part B of task 1, that is for 13 good marks. Analyze the financial and non-financial performance of BCO in the latest financial year 20x1, providing a reason for and implication of the results. Financial performance, we can compare financial results. We can calculate some ratios, increase, decrease. What is about non-financial performance? We have studied balance scorecard. The other three performers, customer performance, employee performance, and management performance, like internal business processes, that we need to discuss. That is what non-financial. And the information for non-financial was given in company's KPI underneath the financial income and expenditure account. Regarding financial, first we will discuss about wildlife park admission fee. Admission. It has increased by 3.3%. Is that? But if we see, number of visitors has decreased. Here, number of visitors has decreased. While your admission income has increased, this means this increase is due to increase in price. That for the first time in last 5 years, company increased the price. Is that? And the increase in price ultimately could affect the number of visitors for future as well. In this increase of 3.3%, it's not like company have attracted new visitors. Number of visitors has decreased. This means this increase is due to increase in price. Might be company still managed to maintain enough number of visitors, mean they not reduced as could have been reduced due to increase in price, but it would affect company future number of visitors. And then if we see membership fee, individual is remain same, but corporate membership fee has increased by 133%. This means company have created more good relation with the corporate sector for taking donation, but still it is just 1% of total income. This means corporate donors are taking interest in charities of our type, like wildlife protection charities. This means we should focus on this area more. We should be having more relation with the corporate sector so that we can increase this fee as compared to total income. 2 points we have discussed. Now we will discuss about education program. Education program has decreased by 6.1%, while your objectives was what? Providing education, awareness, training to the people about the wildlife protection. This means you are not meeting your objective. You are not going to meet your targets if it has reduced. The reduction could be company have run fewer training programs as compared to previous year. Running fewer training program could be due to cost saving as well, because cost to run program have increased. But company need to focus on cost, how to manage cost, how to reduce cost, so that a company can provide more training and awareness to meet its objective. Because every performance we need to discuss from objective point of view. And then wildlife park, shop and cafe has increased revenue by 15.3%. Why? Because the revenue income per visitor has also increased by $3.27. And this is a good sign. Despite a reduction in the number of visitors, to the park, we have increased the revenue from cafe shop in the park. This means we are providing but much better quality products in shops and cafe that appealing to the customers, and customers are much satisfied. That's why they are trying to buy more. This means if customers are taking interest in buying products from shop and cafe, so company need to focus on this area as well. Like we should provide even more products on shops and cafes so that we can increase some part of revenue from this area as well, because it's a growing. Donation grants and legacies, this is the main source of income. It has decreased 15.5% as compared to previous year. In previous year, this was a 41.6% of total income, but now has reduced to 35% of total income. This means other part of income, other type of income are growing while this legacy income is decreasing. It's a good sign. Like we are moving towards other type of income as our main income, but still we need to focus on this. We need to target more donors relating to legacy so that we can maintain at least rather than reducing. Otherwise, it could create serious problem for the company. Business will not be able to manage its cost. And there is a 525 sale of property that company sold the land, and there are expectation like company need to sell more land to meet their growth strategies. But why companies are selling land? There are some cash flow issues. And if we discuss about expenditure, animal sport cost relating to wildlife park has increased by 9.1% as compared to previous year, while your number of visitors has decreased. This means this cost is going out of control. Either could be due to inflation, because this cost include animal food as well. Might be food cost has increased, medical treatment, other facilities, staff cost. So we need to focus on which cost has increased as compared to previous year, because number of visitors has reduced. So company need to control this cost for survival. Animal sport cost relating to the field has increased by 6.6%. And this could be providing some kind of training or some kind of education awareness program. And this is also include transportation, like we might be company moving towards the far areas for providing awareness, but still we need to focus on how we can manage this. Staff training has reduced by 10%. And now there is bad publicity in a newspaper article about the company operations, and we can achieve more cost efficiencies by providing more training to the staff. If you are not providing training to the staff, ultimately there will be issue of achieving efficiencies. We need to provide training to the staff so that we become more innovative. We can adopt according to the new changes in the business environment. And company aim is what providing education awareness. This should not be to the external world, providing education training to the internal people like employees as well. And commercial activities, if we see cost of operating a wild park, shop and cafe has decreased. This is due to economies of scale, because their volume has increased, and cost of other commercial income has slightly increased. While company net income has reduced by 422,000, and this is due to reduction in some of the income, but mainly this is due to increase in expenses, especially the wildlife park expenses, because our total income almost same. But if net income has reduced by 422,000, we can even find the percentage that could be about above 60%. This means companies are unable to control its cost. That is the main concern. But might be the stability in income is due to the sale of property as well. If we exclude the sale of property, the like with like, total income has reduced as compared to previous year by 525. Is that? Total income has reduced as compared to previous year by 525, because this increase or stability is due to including the disposal income. So this is financial we can discuss. Now moving towards non-financial. There are some KPIs. Regarding employee performance, we can discuss number of paid staff has decreased slightly, while a voluntary staff company able to increase, and this is a good sign because these voluntary staff will help the business in achieving more efficiencies, and they can contribute more expertise. And these voluntary staff could be donors as well, that will be helpful for the company to maintain fixed donation income as well. Wild park visitor numbers has decreased, while this is internal business processes, like business is not operating effectively. This is what relating to internal business processes. This is relating to employee performance. So the main objective is what? Providing awareness to the people, and the company having a target of 1 million in next 5 years. And if your visitors has reduced, this means company will not be able to meet its objective. Average training day per staff member has reduced. Employee performance, this could affect employee performance badly. This could create some kind of dissatisfaction, demotivation among effect among the employees. It could result into staff turnover as well. We can discuss where in employee performance.
Staff number has decreased.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be due to decrease in number of staff, but number of staff has not decreased that much. Only six.
Employed from 351 to 344, right?
Yeah, only six, seven applies reduce, while there is increase in voluntary. So there should be more, because we have recruited more voluntary staff. So there should be more training while you are reducing training. Cost per staff training day has slightly decreased. Number of external education training program run have decreased, and number of animal returned to natural habitat have increased slightly. So here company is meeting its objective, while here company is not meeting its objective. This we can discuss with the internal business processes. And this cost per staff training day, this number of visitors and income per visitor, this we can discuss in customer performance as well. Despite these decrease in number of visitors, company income from admission has increased. This means visitors are still with the company, and they are even paying high price as well. That company has increased, and they are preferring the products from cafe and shop. So customer performance is good, like company is able to satisfy the customer who visit properly. So this is about financial and non-financial performance. And we have performed so many questions like this financial, non-financial performance, where we compare data of current with the previous, we compare KPIs of one business with other. Even we have done these things in 50 marks case studies as well, like GET question was there. Yeah, yeah, just discuss these change and what will be the effect on the business. What could be the reason and what could be the effect of the business, positive, negative. Shall we move forward? So task 1, A, B, we have covered so far. Moving towards task 2. Task 1 was for 30 marks. Okay. Task 2, in its recently published annual reports, the BCO set out 3 strategic objectives for the next 5 years. What were those 3 objectives? Protecting at least 100 threatened animals, starting 100 wildlife project in next 5 years, where company will provide a training education to the staff, to the community, and
1 million people are
creating awareness among people of 1 million at least regarding the
nature.
wildlife, nature, and its protection. So, in its published annual report, the BCO set out 3 strategic objectives for the next 5 years. The new chairperson is keen to understand in more detail how the BCO's external environment will impact on these strategic objectives and has asked the CFO to provide him with information. The CFO has asked for your assistance in preparing his report for 15 very good marks. Prepare a report for the CFO which evaluates the extent to which the external environment could impact on the BCO's strategic objective. I mean, you need to discuss external environmental factor from this company point of view. I mean, you need to explain effect on company objective. If you can link with those 3 objective, any of the factor is pretty fine. Otherwise, if you can discuss generally on the objective position of the organization because we know what they are doing, so that is acceptable. Pastel we need to apply. Political factor. Was there any information about grant?
Yes.
About grant? How much grant they were successfully obtained? $2 million. $2 million. But that might not be available in future. That might not be available in future. What was the reason why that might not be available in the future? This information was there something. Yeah. 2 million grant funded donation over the next few years. This is significant source of income for the BDO, and we are grateful to those. No, this will be available for next 5 years and next few years. But that grant of 2 million is not that much enough that a company will manage their expenses to meet their objective. Still, company need to focus on other sources of income to meet their objective. Was there any economic factor? Yes, economy is in recession from last 10 years. And recession period, people purchasing power becoming down. And if their purchasing power is low, they sometimes defer some kind of payments like paying donations or charities. So that could affect the company income, but still company is trying to manage their income despite the recession. So company need to focus on maintaining good relation with their stakeholders, especially the donors. Company should focus on providing better opportunities to the facilities to the visitors so that company can maintain their income and achieve their objectives in recession period. And company objective is what about providing a training, awareness, education to the community. Ultimately, providing training, education will be having a cost. And in that cost, they need to incorporate some factor that would lead towards rise in cost, and that will be your traveling cost if you are moving towards other areas, as well as inflation. They need to keep an eye on it. because this could also affect the company in meeting its objective. Social factor. There is much concern in the society about the donations they are going to make to the charities. They want how the to see how the money is used, how the money is managed properly. And there is some bad publicity about the charity sector, like they misuse the funds. There were some instances like few charities failed to manage business due to mismanagement of funds. That's why there is concern about the society, about the people. They want to know how companies are managing and using their funds properly. So that company need to consider. And for that, they need to provide more disclosures. They need to meet transparency in providing disclosure so that every information should be available to the donors, to the fund providers, so that a company can maintain enough of funds from the society. Technological factors. Technology play important role in business while achieving cost efficiencies. And there are certain technologies available. Even nowadays, business are operating in complex, dynamic, turbulent business environment. New innovations happens every day. Though company is trying to improve its database management system, but still company need to focus on some other technologies like social media, digital marketing. What was the third? Social media, digital marketing,
Digi- digital.
digital marketing, social media presence. What else was there? What else was there? Where we studied this? Here, I think so. No. Here, no. Here, we marked three words somewhere. In exhibit one, online education, like providing education, like if they are providing any courses, they should focus on providing online because nowadays people feel more comfort in online courses. Ecological factors, environmental concern is increasing day by day among societies, among the peoples, among the communities, and the company is focusing on environmental concern because if they are protecting towards wildlife, animals, they are having a close link with the natural environment. But company need to focus on these areas more to build a good repute in the society so that company can maintain support from the society as well as concerned stakeholders. Legal factors, law regulations are going to be increased in near future. Was there any information about laws regulation? We studied something in that newspaper article. Yeah, here. More legislation is expected in the coming year to stop the use of hard sell marketing tactics. Mean there could be more law regulation regarding the marketing techniques that companies are going to adopt. There could be some law regulation regarding the registration of the charity business, regarding the operation of the charity business. If you are moving towards uh, protecting the wildlife, this means you are dealing with animals. So there could be some laws relating to animal right protection that company need to focus.
Maybe if you provide reports.
Ultimately, so for that, company need to be open in communication. Whatever the processes they are performing in their activities, they should meet a transparency and they should disclose all the facts to the concerned people whenever they are required.
Donation the second line. Legal. State donation.
State donation, that we can discuss in political factor.
State donation.
State donation from government.
नहीं आप दोबारा उसको open करो Printer से together.
Here,
नहीं charity
here,
ये रहा local authority banning street donation to stop aggressive donor collection tactic.
here.
नहीं third line fourth line में resulting in
Fourth
local-
paragraph.
नहीं उसी में line
Here in this paragraph.
जी fourth line resulting in some local authorities banning street donation.
Resulting in some local authorities banning street donation to stop aggressive donor. This is relating to marketing only, like how they are targeting the community for taking donations. Mean regarding the marketing, how they are marketing. They are creating some kind of like hard selling. Mean they are pushing the people, like they are creating fatigue for the donor. Banning mean what they are banning, like you cannot move towards the street for taking donation. Obviously you are not forcing for donation, you are creating awareness about your business so that you can generate donations. So this is marketing tactics that business are adopting. So relating to marketing, law regulations are becoming more strict. Just give me a minute. Yes, behavior. So require a task one, task two. Task 2A we have completed, task 2B. In addition to the recent investment made in updating the members' database management system, the Chief Executive Officer highlighted in the annual report that the BCO is looking for further opportunities to invest in e-business technologies. The CFO has been asked to make a presentation to the Board of Trustees, and he has asked for your assistance in preparing his presentation. Please prepare presentation slides. We need to prepare slides with accompanying notes, which recommend with clear justification 3 application of information technology that the BCO could use to enhance its e-business capabilities. And you need to prepare 3 slides for 3 IT-based technologies that business can use. And you need to not only provide recommendation, you need to clearly justify what could be the benefits of those technologies for the BCO. 15 marks. Requirement of presentation means slides we need to prepare. Slides. So slide 1, slide 2, and slide 3 I'm preparing in parallel. You need to prepare first of slide, you need to provide its notes, second slide its notes, like underneath. So what IT based techniques we can recommend to this company? Those 3 techniques that were available in the question. One was digital marketing. Other was social media presence. And the third was online education or training. First, you need to provide its features, some advantages. Features, advantages. Features, advantages, And these feature advantages we need to explain here. What could be the feature of digital marketing? Feature could be through website. Company can provide through website, or company can provide through mobile app. What else could be the feature? Is that advantage or feature? What could be the feature of digital marketing? We can make marketing digital marketing through SEO, search engine optimization. EO, search engine optimization. We covered this or not? We have covered this. Search engine optimization mean different programming techniques through which you can move your business website on top of Google search engine pages. So that if anybody want information about the product of your business, and if they search through Google, your website should be on the top. If your website is on the top, you will be attracting that customer. SEO, search engine optimization. Or we can perform digital marketing by using other website where there are more customers, like on Facebook ad we can run, YouTube we can use, Instagram we can use for digital marketing. What could be the benefit of digital marketing? Wide coverage. Mean you can market all over the world. You are not restricted to your local market like a physical marketing through billboard. What else? 24/7. Your marketing is there, like in some part of the world, if people are working in your night time, still your business marketing ads will be running over there. Less cheap, less cost as compared to other marketing media. What else? Quick communication. It happen rapidly. These things we need to explain underneath. Is that social media presence? What are the features of social media presence? Social media presence, we are attracting with the stakeholders. Attraction with stakeholders. Like we have created our page and people are following our page. So if there is any post, they are providing comments. So to this, we are having attraction. Strong relation we can maintain through this attraction. Because if they are using Facebook, ultimately, if there is any post relating to our business we are posting, it will be communicated to them. Through this, we'll be having a relationship through communication. Because there is no communication, there is no relationship. What else could be the feature of social media presence? How we can create social media presence? Attraction with the stakeholder and a strong relationship. Feedback we can obtain. This is feature. This is feature. Our feedback is what advantages?
Benefit होगा कि हमें immediate.
Yeah, we can take feedback from the customer through social media presence. What will the feature mean? How we can create social media presence?
Mobile apps, like easy to use.
We can say wide variety of social media presence we can create. We can create a presence through videos. We can create a presence through pictures. We can create presence through audios. What could be the advantages of social media presence? We can obtain feedback from the customer regarding our services or regarding our products. 24/7 we can communicate, like if customer is having any issue, so he can communicate 24/7. What else? We can target more audience. No demographic boundaries are limitations for connecting with the community. So no demographic barrier. What else could be the advantages of social media presence?
State program.
Updating the stakeholder about our change in services. So updating the stakeholders about changes. The third technology they can use is what? Online education. What could be the feature of online education? We can provide this through recorded videos. We can provide this through live sessions. What else could be the feature?
Wide range covered.
That could be the advantage, I think so. How we can provide this online education, that is feature.
Those apps like Zoom.
Yeah, either laptop or mobile app, through both we can provide. And advantages could be wider coverage, like the areas where we are not physically present, even through online we can provide awareness to community over those areas. What else could be the advantage? There is a flexibility for community regarding the information. They can run this training course anytime they want, and it will help in a less cost as well, because it's a one-time cost. We have recorded the video. We don't need to pay to the trainers for every course. We have paid for once, and recorded video we are having that we can use for future as well. Is that? How many marks? 15 marks for these three. Or fourth, I can say we can use big data analytics. What are the features? Data mining, statistical analysis. What could be the advantages? You can perform trend on your number of visitors, whether increasing, decreasing, any visitor, if a visiting again or not visiting again. The old visitor who visited so many years before, we can provide some kind of discount by finding the trend, who the list who are the visitors who haven't visited in last 1 year. Is that? Regarding donors, we can perform trends like who is contributing how much amount, and if one donor contributing last year but not this year, we can provide information by targeting him. Because the regular donors, obviously we don't need to target, but irregular donors we can target, and we can find information from this big data analytics. We can perform market research, like the areas from where we can find the donors, the areas from where people are donating more money. This means we should target those areas for marketing purpose, so that we can capture more donors from that area. Is that? What else we could be the advantages? By performing statistical analysis on cost, it will help in cost control as well. Like we can identify where we are increasing our cost, so that we can prepare some strategies to control that particular element of cost, that will help to maintain our expenses and maintain profitability. Even this we can discuss. Big data analytics. In previous 1-2 case studies, there was some topic relating to requirement relating to big data analytics. Was there? So requirement, task 1, task 2, we have covered. Task 1 for 30 marks and task 2 for 38 marks. 68 marks paper we have covered so far. Moving towards task 3. There is only one requirement. The chairperson has asked to meet with the chief executive officer to discuss the BCO's current risk management approach. The risk register was there. One slide. The chairperson has concerned that the current risk register does not adequately evaluate the seriousness of the risk identified and that some relevant risks are not covered at all. He is also concerned that the risk mitigating activities are inadequate. In the light of recent change and events in the external environment, the CEO disagrees and thinks that the risk register and its risk mitigating activities are sufficient, and that the chairperson is overreacting to the BCO's latest financial results and the industry research report. She has asked for your assistance on this matter. O CEO. Chairman saying this register is not appropriate, while CEO saying no, everything is accurate, everything is fine. He is overreacting. So prepare a confidential report which evaluate the BCO's current risk register, risk, its impact, and mitigation. 3 columns was there. And adequacy of each of the risk mitigating activity. Mainly risk mitigating activities, you need to see whether they are adequate or not. And clearly highlight whether the chairperson concerns are justified. You need to explain whether chairperson concern is justified or not. So we need to evaluate the risk, its impact, its mitigating activities, and explain whether chairperson concern is genuine or not. If we move straightway to the risk register, this. Yeah. So first risk is what? Fundraising pressure. We'll put a heading fundraising pressure. We'll explain a little bit what is fundraising pressure. Like if business is unable to raise the funds, business is unable to raise income like donation income or visitor income. So ultimately, this is a high risk for the business, having a high impact on the business. Is that? And this is the main source of income for the business. If business is not able to raise the funds, ultimately it will not be able to meet its objective. So that risk should be managed. And its impact, they have identified like it's impacting the expenditure. Business will not be able to meet expenditure, and it's impact the reputation of the business. Like business will not be having money for marketing purpose to capture more and more visitors, even the donors. So its impact is high, and this should be managed on regular basis. If you look at the risk mitigating activities, implementing appropriate cost budget procedures, so this is not a relevant mitigating activity because cost budget will help to control costs rather than will give idea how we can resolve this fundraising pressure. Because fundraising is relating to revenue. So chairperson concerns regarding risk register are genuine. The mitigating activities monitor the adequacy of financial returns achieved, benchmarking comparison, monitor the adequacy of financial return achieved. Returns mean profitability rather than revenue. In profitability, there comes cost as well. There could be other factors as well. Even this is not an appropriate mitigating activities. And report fundraising activities to share stakeholder in annual reports. Okay, that is relevant. If you are reporting, ultimately company need to report with some growth. And if they need to report with some growth, ultimately company will be focused on it and will manage it, how revenue or fundraising can be increased. So chairperson concerns are genuine, like a risk register and risk mitigating activities are not adequate. Then we'll put the second heading, loss of key staff. This is also a serious risk for the business, because if you are losing your key staff who are experienced, competent people, ultimately you will be facing operational problems. If staff is leaving the organization, you need to recruit more staff, or you need to train the existing staff member, and this will incur some cost as well as time as well. Its impact on the business is high. So its risk mitigating activities, succession planning is an appropriate activity. Yes, through succession planning, we can meet the future human resource need of the company. Like if any of the staff leaving, we will be having some backhand person who can replace his role. Agree notice period and handovers. Yes, this is an appropriate mitigating activity, because through notice period, at least we'll be aware when he is going to leave, so that we can arrange any of the person within the organization, or we can recruit external person within that time period. Reviewing recruitment process and policies, yes, this is an appropriate strategy, because reviewing the recruitment process and policy will be able to at least identify how many people we need current or in future, so that we can prepare plan to maintain them. So chairperson concern is not genuine here in a loss of key staff mitigating controls, because these are appropriate. Third heading will put increase competition in the sector. Yes, competition also affect the position of the business as well as the revenue generation capacity of the business. If there is more competition, ultimately BCO could lose their donors, could lose their members towards the competitors. And losing donors, members towards competitor will affect your income as well as your business survival. And risk mitigating activities monitor method of service delivery. Monitor method of service delivery. If you are just monitoring your method of service delivery, might be you will be satisfied with that, but you should not monitor your only. You should monitor, evaluate methods of service delivery of the competitor as well, so that you can compare your with competitor. By comparing with your competitor, you'll be able to realize whether you are performing better or competitor performing better. By just monitoring yourself, you will be satisfied. So this is not an appropriate. Monitor public awareness and profile. Monitor public awareness and profile mean whether we are creating awareness among the public or not. This is an appropriate mitigating policies, but there must be some other mitigating activities to manage competition. What could be others? Company need to adopt some marketing techniques. Like for marketing techniques, company need to adopt some e-marketing techniques. To manage the competition, you must be much more innovative. You should try to introduce more services. You should try to introduce more IT based operations, so that you can achieve more efficiencies to compete effectively with the competitors. So chairperson concern is genuine in this risk, like the mitigating activities are not adequate. And fourth risk, we will put the heading operating in dangerous location around the world. Yes, if you are operating in dangerous condition, there will be high risk, like the injury or death of the staff member. There could be attack by the dangerous animals over the staff members. So there is a high risk that business need to manage, because we are performing outdoor activities of protecting wildlife, managing wildlife. The mitigating activities monitor and review activities in recognize a dangerous location and procedures to remove a staff at short notice. Yes, this is appropriate. We should monitor the policies, procedures, how staff are working on different locations, because if they are working as per policy procedures, we can avoid this risk. Closely work with local security and safety services. Yes, this is an appropriate. We should work with local security and safety services so that if there are any dangerous conditions, so we can tackle with the support of the local security. And regular training, yes, this is also an appropriate mitigating control. We need to train to our staff member who are working in dangerous locations, so that they must be aware about the risk, about the threats, about the issues they could face on that location. And they must be aware how to manage those issues, those risks, like they must be having some policies or plans. So these mitigating activities are adequate. Chairperson concerns are not genuine in this area.
फिर एक पूछते हैं हम लोग कि जैसे रिस्क मिटिगेटिंग एक्टिविटी और रिकमेंडेशन, तो मिटिगेटिंग एक्टिविटी मैंने एग्जैक्टली लिखना
Mitigating activities are already stated over there.
नहीं,
We need to evaluate whether they are proper, adequate or not.
जैसे क्वेश्चन में नहीं दिया बट हमें बोला है लिखने के लिए,
Then we need to explain regarding the impact and probability, what should be the mitigating activity, what company should do,
मतलब नेगेटिव जो
what policies company should adopt, whether company should transfer, whether company should avoid, whether company should accept, and mainly what policies company should adopt. The recommendation is this mitigation is recommendation. Mitigation policy is what recommendation. Underneath these four, we'll put one more paragraph, like company risk register. Maintaining is a good step towards managing business risk. And companies also having a risk committee who is chaired by the company chairman, and there are some other two people of a board of trustees. But risk committee members should be independent. And company chairman should not be chairman of the risk committee. For risk committee chairman, company need to arrange any other member of board of trustees rather than company chairman. And now business has moved towards complex dynamic business environment, and as the market changing, business are facing a new risk, and for that company need to manage effective risk committee who could focus on regular basis on risk. And it's better if the member of risk committee should be other than board of trustees, because board of trustees are having their routine duties and they have conducted a meeting once in a year for risk management, while nowadays business facing new risk every day, and risk management should be an ongoing activity. On daily basis you need to perform this risk management process, and for that it's better company must be having separate risk committee if they want to manage risk in real time. And while managing risk, not only the impact of the risk should be considered, probability of risk must also be considered, because based on the high or low likelihood of the risk, business can adopt appropriate mitigating activity or strategies. These points we need to discuss here in one paragraph more. Are you with me? Shall we move forward? Moving towards last requirement of this case study, task 4. Soon after you completed your report on the BCO's risk register and risk mitigating activities, you attended a meeting with the CEO and Chief Finance Officer, CFO, At the meeting, the CEO raised her concern that the board of trustees does not have a sufficient mix of skill and diversity. They lack diversity. All of the board of trustee members are almost above 50 years. Is that? And too old. 3 of them are above 70 years. Above 70 years. This means they lack physical energy, they lack mental abilities because your mental capacity work till certain age. And they have studied the old education, they might haven't studied the technology, they are not aware about the new innovation, they might not be having modern approaches. So lack diversity, and that management board had in recent past not undertaken sufficient professional development. There is no CPD as well to upgrade the knowledge of the board members. She has requested a meeting with the chairperson to discuss this issue further. The CEO has asked for your assistance in preparing for this meeting. Prepare a briefing paper for the CEO, which explain the importance for the BCO's board of trust to have a sufficient mix of skills and diversity. Mean you need to explain importance of diversity for BCO board for 5 marks, and importance of continuing professional development CPD for BCO management board members to ensure that the BCO meets its obligation to its stakeholder. By 5 marks, we need to explain the importance of CPD for BCO. First, if we discuss about diversity, so we can discuss almost all the members are having age above 50. They might not be having new ideas. Is that? If they haven't studied old courses, old education scheme, at that time there was no technological education involved, computer based education involved in courses, so they haven't studied technology. Nowadays business environment are becoming complex, changing, dynamic. New innovations happens every day. Only those business survive who adopt new innovation before their competitor. And to adopt new innovation, you must be aware about the technologies. And those business are surviving nowadays who are introducing something new from themselves regarding how to achieve more efficiency through innovative model, how to deliver more innovative services that your competitors are not providing. And for that, there must be some fresh qualified people with the recent knowledge. To make a good decision in best interest of all the stakeholder, there must be gender diversity as well. And currently, if we see in there are only one or two female or other are male, and by nature male are aggressive, so they could move towards self decision making, could affect ignore some of the stakeholder, that could affect relation with the stakeholder. So that's why to maintain diversity, they should include more female as well. All the board members are old age. While there must be some fresh qualified people in the board as well who can bring new ideas. By bringing new ideas, business will be moving towards a more innovative. More innovation not only satisfy our customer as well as satisfy the operation as well. So these 4 or 5 points we need to discuss. We need to criticize them and why there must be diversity. And regarding CPD, What is CPT? Continuing professional development, updating the knowledge of people through training, through coaching classes, by conducting seminars. Why it is important for BCO? Why it is important for BCO? Because the board members, especially board of trustees people, are too old. So they are having old knowledge. They are not incorporated with the new courses of education. So CPD is important to polish their knowledge or to enhance their knowledge, because with the enhanced knowledge, they need to make the decision. What else could be the advantage of CPD? Through CPD, we can create awareness about the new competitors, about the new innovations, about the industry development to the board member, so that they can make a decision according to those factors as well. What else could be the advantage of CPD? There are some conflict we have noticed between new chairman and CEO. Is that especially regarding the risk system? So through CPD, what will happen? Staff meet each other in an informal way, and by meeting with each other in an informal way help into creating good relationship among the members, because they can discuss different issues in informal way that could create some kind of a friendship, some kind of affection among staff member, and this will move towards more teamwork among the staff members, because good decision innovation happens through teamwork, not a individual mind alone. What else we can discuss about CPD? Is important for BCO. CPD is important for BCO. CPD will create awareness about the changes in new law regulation, changes in corporate governance codes that company need to comply. Because if company do not comply with these, there could be chances of bad repute due to fines, penalties, action from the authorities. So to make aware the board members about the changes in law regulation, not the current, about the future, changes in corporate governance codes, so that business must be prepared, must be aware about those changes before those changes happen. CPD is necessary so that business can move towards ensuring compliance. And this part regarding CPD we have covered, I think so. In that question, we covered even the two-tier board structure as well. LUM, the very first question of corporate governance. We see this area is from corporate governance. Task 1 part A is from corporate governance. This is from risk. This is from IT. This is from strategic analysis. And this is from strategic analysis balance scorecard technique. Mean as compared to NCCP, that was more general. This is not more general. This is topic based. You need to apply topic along with the information about the scenario. Along with information about the scenario, this is mainly topic based. So that's it.